Hey everybody, welcome back to I've Got Next. I'm Smith, and with me as always is Austin.
Howdy, howdy.
We're going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm having some technical issues on my end, so we're going to do kind of a bit of a casual little thing here. Austin, as you see, is going to be playing some Turtles in Time and getting smushed. Oh wait, no, that's the cutscene.
That's the demo.
I'm not bad.
I'm not saying I won't get squishy, but at least that one wasn't me.
So we're just going to do kind of a general discussion, podcasty thing, just to kind of see if it can kind of pique anyone's interest. Talk a little bit about gaming news, what's going to be going on with the channel, any kind of future ideas that we might have. To start out, speaking of Nintendo, did you catch the Nintendo Direct?
I did. Lots of good-looking reveals there.
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, it's very RPG heavy this go around, which I'm down for. They had the one that I am really hyped about is going to be a Zelda game in which you actually play as Zelda.
Yeah, for the first time since the CDI.
We don't count those. Although, and remind me, I'll try and put a little marker there. I want to kind of circle back to the CDI.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah. So, what is it? Wand of Wisdom.
Yes, I think so. Staff of Wisdom or Wand of Wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely. It looks like a puzzle platformer, so I don't know. I'm sure there will be some aspects of combat to it. But it definitely, it's going to be like a puzzle platformer, which is totally fine because it's going to be made. It looks like it's in the same engine as the Link's Awakening remake.
Yeah, that was probably my game of the year that year.
Mm-hmm. It was, like I said, I had, like I was telling you earlier, I have limited. I didn't have a Game Boy. Like that was just something my parents couldn't afford, especially when they had 3 kids. Not to mention the separate battery budget that you'd have to have.
Oh my God, what was it? 6 batteries?
Yeah, it was like 4 or 6. It was something like that. Like, and the original ones were like this giant, or at least now I may be kind of dipping into my memory a little bit, but in my little baby hands, it was like holding a damn brick.
Yeah, the original Game Boy, despite being like built to withstand explosions, was also just enormous. But then you added in the magnifying glass and the backlight and all those things. It just became like a transformer.
Yeah, and so it didn't have the backlight, so you had that little magnifying glass that had the little light on it, so that, otherwise you are sitting next to a desk lamp trying to see the screen. I've got the Nintendo Direct pulled up here, so I'm just kind of blazing through. They haven't talked anything. They've only hinted at the next. Everyone's calling it Switch 2 right now, but I'm sure it'll get a different name. I'm almost. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they did come out ahead of time and say, "Hey, there's not gonna be any Switch 2 stuff revealed."
It probably won't be till either late next year or early 2026 before it comes out. If I had to hazard a guess, I know because. The game that sold the most, I think, would probably had to have been Animal Crossing, and that was largely due to, I want to say, COVID had a lot to do with that.
Oh yeah, that just became everybody's life.
Yeah, like except for City Folk, I own every Animal Crossing, GameCube included. I don't have the 64 version, but the 64 version that was only released in Japan is just the GameCube version.
I only had the GameCube version before this one.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of those things where until they made the improvements, you didn't know that you needed them.
Yeah.
But so I think as far as Nintendo systems go, I'm pretty sure that handheld, as far as like DS and stuff like that, I'm thinking that's going to be a thing of the past from now on.
You think so?
Because the Switch is handheld and it plays with a cartridge.
Yeah, I mean,
well, the Switch is hybrid.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I think they'll still be a thing, mostly because everybody's. I still think. Oh my god, the Steam Deck is probably going to be a lot larger. There's probably going to be a lot more knockoffs and people trying to cash in on that market.
Well, so like for the people that couldn't afford the, I guess the hybrid version, they had the Switch Lite, which was exclusively handheld.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's kind of where they're going to be putting their market.
I mean, we'll see. They always, for every 10 good things they do one bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just making another really good handheld would be too much to hope for. So I'm betting the next one is we're going back to the Virtual Boy. It's gonna have 3D.
Nintendo has not. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I'm sure they might one day, but Nintendo, as of right now, has not really expressed any interest in going to VR, which, Nintendo has a pretty good track record. Recently, of making good decisions.
I mean, I would point out, the Wii U was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where, what was it? Sonata took
he took a pay cut instead of getting. Yeah, props to him for that.
Yeah.
And so. Yeah, I mean, I could see where you're coming from. I'm just, I'm wondering with, with the Switch being handheld and surprisingly, like, it's astonishing how well that thing performs with the technology that it is. Like, I thought cartridges are gone.
Well, and I would say that cartridges are still pretty gone on my end. But I love the Switch. I've had nothing but good experiences with it.
Mm-hmm. Circling back to the CDI, because I wanted to make mention of it. Have you checked out, it's called, it might be on Steam, it's called like Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore?
No, I haven't.
So it's an indie game, but it, in the best way possible, pays homage to the Zelda CDI games.
Oh, you know what? I did see the trailer for one of those where they even got back some of the voice actors from the original one.
I think they also got the voice actress for Zelda. I think, but I know for certain that they got the voice actor that did the original Link. He does the tutorial.
Okay.
But they also got a couple of YouTubers and stuff like that involved in it. And it is such, like, it's really hard because it is so perfect in its execution, in the fact that it wanted to be, it's a well-made bad game, if that makes sense.
No arguments here.
And it's such like a love letter to the CDI games, and a lot of respect to the creator for it.
I'm also very excited for the new Mana game because I was a big Secret of Mana fan. I even enjoyed Trials of Mana was good.
Mm-hmm.
Or
That came
whichever
on
the-
PlayStation.
It was on P. Oh, I got it for the PC, but I'm sure it came out for everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, no. I'm thinking of Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross.
Also a big fan of those.
Yes. I get them confused though very easily because the main characters look very similar. I just really liked it was Chrono Trigger that had that was involved with Toyama, wasn't it?
Yes, and his art all the way up until like 11 or 12. I did not play a lot of the Dragon Quest games. I'm told they are very, very good, like functional, like, you know, really good RPGs.
Mm-hmm. Dragon Quest. Oh yeah. I don't think I've actually picked up any of those.
My big memory from Dragon Quest was playing Dragon Quest 1 on the NES and the first enemy of the game killing me.
Mm-hmm. The it was, yeah, SNES was a really good time. Were there I know there were probably plenty, but Nintendo sort of overshadowed Sega in the RPG department.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think in general, one of them is still around, and one is a publishing company.
Yeah, the fans are still holding out that hopefully one day Sega will come back and release something as good as the Dreamcast.
You know, it was just horrifically marketed, and they decided a Shadow release would be good.
Yeah, it was kind of because it was around that time where let's have an edgy character.
What do you mean?
When Shadow come out, you know that like the early 2000s, there was everybody was kind of getting into this whole edgy movement.
Oh no, I mean it was Shadow launched, and that they didn't tell anyone what the launch day was until it was already out.
I got you. Yeah, that honestly, I mean, I'm glad that I own one. I really, because that was a like the VMU is like a really cool idea. You only had like a handful of games that it worked with, but like Skies of Arcadia, where you play that little, you can pull the VMU out and you play that little treasure hunting game.
Chocobo Dungeon was pretty good. I want to say Urgies came out on the Dreamcast, but I don't remember. I think that was maybe only PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm. And something that we had talked about one time, and for anyone that doesn't know, this was we were originally just going to do this as a podcast, but he nor I are very good at keeping a conversation going without some sort of visual stimuli, or at least that we weren't at that time. I think we've gotten a little bit better, but
good old ADHD.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, there's no way I could keep a clear train of thought, because within the same sentence I would be, talking about, Wand of Gamelon, and then about in the next sentence I would be talking about an appliance that I might need to purchase.
Let's see.
On the Direct, they are. So, this is one. It's really weird that they're doing this. I guess so everyone can say they have played it. I'm not sure what the intent behind it is, but years ago in the NES, Video Game Nerd talked about it. The Nintendo World Championship, one of the most valuable NES cartridges that you could own. They're releasing it for the Switch for some reason, which
I saw that. I like the idea of it. You have certain challenges that you're playing through, and it might be easy, it might be something hard.
Yeah. The original was you were given a level of a game, and you had so much time to, like, I know in like the Mario one, you were given X amount of time and you had to collect as many coins as possible.
Yeah.
They're going to be releasing new games for the emulator store on the Switch. I know they're going to be bringing Perfect Dark out, which back then that game was hella fun.
Yeah, the new one looks pretty good too.
And then Turok, which I had actually
that game.
I went and played it back recently. The rose tinted glasses didn't help.
No, that game is really rough to try and get through these days. Now,
Also,
however,
having
2 is better.
2, I haven't played it.
And I would say I really enjoyed Turok Rage Wars, which was their Unreal Tournament or Quake-style arena shooter.
Mm-hmm. There was... so I only ever played the first one. And nowadays, I would actually have to look up to see if they actually got someone that's a First Nation to do the voice of Turok. But
I don't know.
It was such a really weird premise. We have this First Nationer, someone that's First Nation, and you fight bad guys and dinosaurs.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was based off the comic or if the comic was based off the game. But it was a whole... so it was a dinosaur preserve? Or something like that, where people went to hunt dinosaurs.
Oh, so Jurassic Park.
Yeah, kind of. It was a weird premise.
Yeah. I'm glad that Toka and Razor became canon characters.
Yeah.
They're coming out with a new Mario Party, like they always do. Like every system, they release like 10 of them.
Yeah, although there hasn't been one in a while. What was it? Oh my god. What was the game that got me? I mean, really, I think probably Princess Zelda is the one I'm most excited about.
Mm-hmm. They're re-releasing, let's see, a Metroid Prime 4.
Is it? Yeah, the newest one in the series.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, it was always... I never really got like past the Super Nintendo. I just lost interest. For some reason, Metroid being in 3D just... I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It just made me not want to play it because it wasn't Metroid.
I played it a little bit. I would say that it wasn't something I stuck with. I much preferred Smash Brothers for my Metroid experience.
That would be interesting. Like, there obviously that's going to be another as we get closer and closer to the Switch 2 being released. That is Smash is going to be one that's going to be talked about more and more.
Electric Boogaloo. I don't know if he's making another one. You know, it'll be interesting to see if he comes out because I thought he said that one was going to be his last. Not that I wouldn't love a new Smash Brothers.
Wait, they said they're not going to make another Smash Brothers game?
Yeah, I thought he said that was the one that was going to be his last. He does a YouTube series now that's pretty good, where he talks about game development.
Huh. Or maybe it's going to be the last one that he's going to work on.
Maybe. You know.
They're going to be coming out with... They're re-releasing Donkey Kong Country Returns. I'm just giving it a facelift.
No, that was a new one, wasn't it?
No, it originally came out on the Wii.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just going to be an HD version now.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
It's Donkey Kong games. Can't go wrong. Unless you're talking about the 64 version.
I I didn't play the Congo one or the Freeze one, but I'm
Didn't-
told both were pretty.
Yeah, I didn't play Freeze, and we never had games that required peripherals. I think we only ever got to play, like I think we had the light gun that came with the original NES.
Yeah, that's super fair.
Uh,
Although the best thing to come out of the Donkey Konga was somebody beat Dark Souls with it.
yeah, and I've seen. It's almost. You see that so much now. It's almost annoying. Like someone beat Dark Souls with the foot pad, or someone beating Dark Souls with the like what is it, Rock Band drum kit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's cool, but also like, I don't know. I guess it's let's fuck around and see if we can do it kind of thing.
Well, I mean, I like for me, I think it almost helps playing Dark Souls thinking about it as a rhythm game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's more about timing than anything else.
I can see that, yeah.
Like, there's a reason people can beat it at level 1, you know?
Yeah. Go straight. That was also really cool about the Souls games in general, is that you could just go directly to the final boss in some of them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like the Breath of the Wild did that too.
Yeah, it did. It certainly did. I don't know if it did that in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. I mean, it was harder, or at least it was harder to me. I'm sure people are very, very good at that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I'm very, very excited about that new Zelda game is that I like when they create a kind of environment to play with graphics in.
Mm-hmm.
Or play with tools in, and that's definitely what that looks like.
Yeah. Interesting choice in Tears of the Kingdom to make a... What's her name? Pura?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting choice to make her younger and more attractive.
Well, she doesn't start out that way.
I know,
We'll say
but
it's
just
part of the-
boy, the memes that come out of that one.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you know, look
That's
at all
internet.
the Zelda series is rife with that.
Oh yeah. Speaking of re-releases, they are going to be coming out with the remake of MGS3.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Oh yeah, I'm here for it. Didn't you make mention that they're not recording any new lines though?
That's what it was originally sounded like. I wonder if they've changed that.
I don't know. Because I think I read an article when it said like David Hayter returns for his iconic role or something like that.
Yeah, I know he's been part of the advertisements and stuff, so maybe they are. But last I heard, they were just going to up-res the audio.
I wish they did that for Final Fantasy 12.
This was we got an HD remake of that,
Yeah.
and I believe they upped the audio for it.
Okay.
But are there any? What are you thinking of recording next? You think?
I think what we might do is we'll just go to Half-Life Alyx next then. Just because I think that's probably, even though I think it's a 1.5, it's technically 1.5 in the series because it takes place between 1 and 2.
Well, that's the thing is I know nothing about it.
Okay. Yeah, well, I will not spoil it then.
Yeah, I'll be excited to see where it goes.
I've only seen glimpses of it, but they are coming out with another Beyond Good and Evil game.
Oh God, it's only been on the docket for 20 years now. They
Yeah,
released a trailer. They released a trailer for it like 10 years ago,
yeah.
and it looked gorgeous. And there's no way that game is still being made. So it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, we assure you we're still making it, but we have no footage and no like kind of anything to show other than that one teaser trailer we made.
Yeah, well, it's got an official site, and it's got it's got a bunch of screenshots and stuff like that. I'm trying to see. They even got the trailer, the newest trailer released for it.
Which one's that one? Is that the one with the pig man? And like the trade deal with the monkey?
Yeah, so they released a trailer. Yeah, all they're saying right now, they're still just saying in development. So they may just throw their hands up.
I mean, considering how long that's been in development, because I think it even surpassed Duke Nukem Forever at this point.
Oh, that was a shit show.
Yeah, so I don't think we're, at the very least, I don't think we're getting that game from that trailer from however long ago that was.
Well, they released. This is only like a few months back that they released more information about it. It was June.
Oh yeah,
it was last month.
Yeah, which trailer is it? Is it the CG trailer with the monkey? Because they showed that trailer, but that trailer's super old, and then they announced they're doing an HD remake of the first game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try not to hold my breath for it.
Yeah, I'll be very surprised if that game comes out. I'll be happy, but
only if it's good. If something takes if something takes that long and turns out to be bad, it's upsetting. Man, I remember when Duke Nukem, like I even bought the pre-order with all the like the collector's edition for it because I was total hype for this game to be good. Speaking of Duke Nukem Forever, and I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be too hard on it because I mean,
I do.
The director got enough flack, after it come out. Like he was just destroyed on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, but they did mislead people, and I don't think the game is bad per se. I think it's just painfully generic.
And it was, it did sort of play to a certain audience because it was like, oh, you get to see boobs in it. And
it played to the Duke Nukem audience.
Yeah. But just like the gameplay, like you said, it was just amazingly generic. And just even like some of the animation, like early on in the game when you're in the bathroom, and your first thing you do is a urinating mini game. And then you can look at yourself in the mirror, and Duke Nukem has a very, very rigid torso, and like crazy legs as he runs around.
Oh, Slash.
I have. I got it on a box set. I have the original cartoon show. I should go back and watch that. I know, the animation of the intro does not cross over into the show itself, but I've got a lot of good memories.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's. I think it still holds up. I have 2 of the seasons around here somewhere.
Yeah, I think I fell off around, what was it, Dimension X?
I'm trying to remember where that sat in the timeline. I think they go to Dimension X in the first season.
Did they? Thought that might have been later.
I'll have to look, but
I've also heard some people refer to it as, was it Red Sky seasons?
I don't know. But that sounds familiar. I know the animation did change quite a bit.
Yeah, it's called the Red Sky seasons, which is referred to as the final 3 seasons. That supposedly not too many people care for. Which, honestly, it's been so long. And at that time, honestly, if it was Ninja Turtles, I loved it. It didn't matter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of those episodes don't hold up because we're adults now.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what still holds up, though, is the Jim Henson Company puppeteered animatronics from the first movie.
Oh, yeah.
After that,
except for that one scene.
Fall off. Which one?
The one with where you can see the actor's eyes and teeth through the mouth.
Oh, it is in the scene.
In the bathtub.
Yeah, and when Raph is getting out of the bathtub, Donatello is standing in the doorway with April, and he kind of throws his head back and laughs, and you can see the guy's open mouth.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
It's like Freddy Fazbear, the early years.
Yeah. It's like a Cronenberg thing.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else we got on the docket here? Do.
Man, this soundtrack is jamming.
It is. Oh, what was that? Kind of jumping subject just a little bit. What was that? It was a Star Wars MMO.
The Old Republic?
It was an MMO that, on the original release, it was extremely difficult to become a Jedi. And then after a lot of people complained, the guy just threw his hands up and said, "All right, fine, everybody can play a Jedi." And then the game turned out to be really, and then the game just went to garbage after that.
I mean, it's kind of half of the story, I would say, through Star Wars Galaxies, which was the first big MMO.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very good, I would say. And then they released kind of an update, modern play.
Mm-hmm.
And it really kind of, I don't want to say dumbed the game down, but it really just wasn't fun to play. It just made it like every other, I feel, MMO.
Yeah.
And it didn't really have any character anymore. Because I can remember back in the day, if you played if you took the doctor skills and like healing,
mm-hmm.
you could hang out in towns and people would like come and give you money and you would heal them. So like all these little impromptu medic stations opened up around planets and things like that.
Okay.
It was cool. The Old World Old Republic isn't bad.
Ah, you'll like this.
I'm
just kind of reading through some articles here, and just one caught my eye. It says that EDF6 is the perfect podcast game.
I do love that game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of gaming and I guess sort of nerddom related, how do you feel about Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't read any of the comics where he was Doctor Doom. So this wasn't like a huge point for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was also kind of done with Marvel after Infinity War.
Yeah.
So
Well, they're rebooting, the Fantastic Four, with and they're probably gonna have more. They're probably gonna have more eyes on it this time because, Mr. Fantastic is going to be played by Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. And now Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom, so it'll definitely sell. I feel, just based on those names alone.
I mean, they've been selling. I don't think they've made any really bad ones except for the more obscure stuff like who remembers Blue Beetle. But I hope it made money. Then you got even their TV stuff has been doing pretty good.
I haven't watched any. Like
I would say
I'm not a TV watcher anymore.
Yeah, I would say your tastes may vary, but it's good stuff in some areas. Moon Knight, I would say, is particularly pretty good. Andor in the Star Wars franchise, would highly recommend that. Anywhere where they tell new stories using kind of the old stuff.
Yeah.
I even enjoyed the Hawkeye TV series a little bit.
Yeah,
There.
I wonder if he's fully recovered physically.
It looks like it. I saw him pop up in a couple of things. He seems to be doing good.
Oh, they're releasing that old, the 1960s.
All of the 1960s.
Every bit of it. The 1960s Super Friends cartoon is coming to Blu-ray.
Oof. I was not a big fan of that show even when I was a kid.
Nah, that's animation back then was really limited. It kind of looked like Johnny Quest, except worse.
I mean, I think it was the same Hanna-Barbera.
Was it?
I think. I don't know for sure, but I think that was part of their studio.
Yeah. So, I mean, Hanna-Barbera did really good animation when it was characters like, Woody Woodpecker or Huckleberry Hound. That was all Hanna-Barbera. I think Droopy was as well. But their more human characters and drawings were just very stiff, and it was back in that time where in order to save on animation, they would just draw one frame and then just animate the mouth.
I mean, I think Scooby-Doo was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I probably watched the most of.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We got Space Marine 2 next month, I believe. Or month after next. Very excited for that.
The what now?
Space Marine 2.
Oh, okay. 40K.
Yeah. It would be very nice to see some of that. Some good 3-player co-op. Let's see.
Yeah, bum. Hang on. What's this? I'm just pulling up an article. Where does this air?
Are you high, man?
There's a Pokemon reality show coming out.
Tell me about this book.
Yeah, I'm just reading through the article right now. Pokemon Trainer Tour is the name of the show. Stars 2 popular Pokemon content creators, Megan, aka Strawberry Burry 17, Carmina and Andrew, which is Tricky Jim Mahoney, who serves as the host for each episode. The show follows Pokemon loving duo as they travel across the country in a Pikachu-themed bus, gaudy, to meet and mentor aspiring trainers looking to foster connections with family and friends through their love of Pokemon trading card game.
Seems pleasant.
So they go to these people's houses and talk to the parents and say, "Look, quit calling him a loser."
I don't know. It seems fine. Pokemon card game is fun from what little I've played.
I never picked that one up. I got into Magic the Gathering for a while. Then it just got too much to where I couldn't keep up with it. And then I tried Yu-Gi-Oh, but I just couldn't. It just didn't resonate with me.
I would say there are some good Pokemon TV shows out there. I don't watch a lot of reality TV shows, so I can't say whether or not this Pokemon... my controller disconnected. That's a no bueno.
Battery's good, Ed?
No, it's a wired controller. I just...
you seem to be doing fine.
Yeah, I'm that good at the game.
Like, you've taken like 2, maybe 3 hits.
Yeah. Now that will change when the Rat King shows up.
Yeah.
I feel.
Also there you go. Shell shock. Did you see the Roll20 app is getting integrated into Discord?
I did not. I have played a couple of Roll20 games.
Yep,
if we're talking about the virtual tabletop software.
It's getting an integration into Discord.
Yeah. That'll be cool.
There is also I can't remember the name of the company. I'm ashamed to say. They got the rights to make a D&D VR game, which is going to be basically. This company, they had already released a. It's really interesting. So it's a multiplayer game, and you can play with friends that in different parts of the world. But you are stood in front of a virtual table, and on this virtual table, a dungeon appears, and you are standing over top of it, and it involves dice rolling and moving pieces, sort of like a. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Sort of like a. I guess maybe first or second edition D&D kind of dungeon crawler.
Interesting.
And this company recently just got the rights to make an actual D&D game, so it'll be really cool to see how that plays out. Because that would be cool to just if you could hook up with other people. Because as it stands right now, I'm incapable of playing.
I like the virtual tabletop games. I don't know that it is a good substitute for being in person, but I think it's kind of a good way to interact with friends and hang out and stuff when you are unable to connect.
Oh yeah, and like I said, in my situation, it would be ideal because being away from home and everything like that. Because I did for a little while. It was, I would play with my wife and my son. Hey, I remember this game.
It's actually the very first game I rented on Nintendo from the local gas station.
God, talk about a time. When you could just go down the road to rent games from I think we had a. Did y'all have a Junior's out that way? It was like Junior's food store.
Does not sound familiar.
Yeah, so we had these. It was a small chain, I guess. It was called Junior's Food Store, and it eventually became Easy Serve. But yeah, like that was a time. You would actually go, and it would be on the back wall where you could rent either video games or movies. I'm trying to think. Like that. What get? Oh. I don't know if it would make a whole episode or not, but we should totally one day talk about Wizard.
With the power glove.
Yeah, that guy, he's in prison now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Or fortunate, I don't know.
It'd be fortunate in this case. He liked him young.
If I could get Harvester to work on the PC, we could play another game that had that same unfortunate problem with its main character.
Harvester?
So Harvester was an old FMV point-and-click game.
Yeah, I remember it. I don't remember the main character having that problem.
Yeah, so he, the guy who played the body of the,
oh,
not the voice.
Okay, IRL.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I didn't know about that. That is unfortunate. If I think, man, that'd be something we should play one day. Is just some FMV games.
Yeah, I tried to get a couple working. It takes a little more work than at the moment I'm willing to put in, because I'd love to get Harvester and what was that game?
Well, we tried. So we played around with. What was it?
Realms of the Haunting.
Yeah, I still have it on my computer. In fact.
Yeah, I picked it up on Steam. I love that game.
I mean, I guess because I don't have the nostalgia for it. It was interesting, but it didn't have the it didn't resonate with me. I guess because I didn't play it as a kid. I played some of Phantasmagoria.
Yep. I would say if you ever get a chance, Phantasmagoria 2 is possibly the best LGBTQ game ever made.
Oh yeah, it has the gay character, and you can choose to hook up with him.
Well, I won't say that, but
okay, it has a gay character that's not put in a negative light. I'll put it that way.
Yes, and I would say it has a person coming to grips with their bisexuality. There's just so much in that game that's so good, except for the like final puzzle.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember it that much. The main character has a podcast.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he has his own podcast. I've checked it out. If I can, actually, let me talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna look it up so we can actually plug him. And not that it would do us. Not that I'm sure he's got his own audience, but if I can steer one or two more his way, I'd be happy to. Phantasmagoria.
The Puzzle of Flesh.
Yeah, that was a interesting little.
Oh no, I would say that for anybody that's interested, Voidburger does a pretty good interview with him when she did her, I guess, live play of Phantasmagoria 2. I don't remember, but
okay, it's on YouTube. It's called Conversations with Curtis.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh. Looks like last upload was like 4 months ago. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, what it is.
Yeah. But Maybe if anybody goes to his channel, check. He does. Looks like he does a playthrough of Limbo with, I'm guessing, his son.
Yeah.
Uh,
That is a good one.
yeah. So maybe if we can push a couple more people over that way, generate some interest, maybe he'll start it back up. I'm sure he's a bit. I'm sure he's busy because I think he still is a working actor,
I don't
or
know.
at least in the business to some aspect. Yeah, and that was Was that back before the MSRB rating system?
Let's see. Mortal
'Cause-
Kombat was the MSRB, correct?
Yeah, and that was
was the
93.
catalyst. Yeah, so it's close.
Let's see. Phantasmagoria 2, A Puzzle of Flesh, 96. And when did Mortal Kombat come out? Mortal Kombat. No. Not Mortal Kombat 1. That's really annoying.
The namings of things now.
Yeah, because now it's 1 again, and you can't. It's really hard to find anything on the original.
Could look up arcade.
Yeah. 1992.
Okay, well, so theoretically,
Yeah, so it would have been rated M, I guess, whenever it come out. But I
people
remember
were
this is also back in a time when you can walk into a convenience store, and you would buy gaming collections. They would look official, but they would in fact be pirated copies.
Oh yeah, those old weird shaped NES cartridges.
Mm-hmm. But like, so we got, I think, Phantasmagoria. I didn't play 2. Is the first one. And I played it, and it was in a. I think it was. I don't know about the first one, but I know 2 had some nudity in it.
I
Which
think the first one has some nudity as well.
it might.
The second one, I mean.
Yeah, which was for what 12 years old. That's a big deal, especially when
Yes.
especially back then, like when porn wasn't as accessible as it is now. Kids today don't know how good they got it.
Yeah, well, I think on that note, it might be a good place to stop it.
On porn.
Yeah.
All right. Alrighty. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. We will come back. We'll be back on track next week. We'll have something to look at. I don't know. We'll decide between now and then if we're going to stick with Assassin's Creed or just move on to Half-Life Alyx. But until then, I'm Smeef, and with me always is Austin.
See you next time.
See you next time.